Okay. Onward to Daily Refuge Daily. Code Blue. Talk to Rucker. Oh, wait, what does it say? I should talk to Rucker, the new leader of the responders, and see if she's looking for some help. She reminds me a lot of,
Wait. No, that's someone else.
We could always use
supposed
an
to be
extra
tomorrow.
hand around here.
Ah, Lord, I need a nap.
she reminds me a lot of the woman that's at
Seems
the
like
fire station.
hunting is one of your strong suits. Look, I can stitch up a gash with the best of them. But Appalachia, well, she can do a lot worse than cut us open. Got a lot of folks here with sickness we don't understand, and injuries we don't know how to treat. What we need more than anything is know-how. So I propose we trade what I got that I don't need for what you need that you don't got. I've heard you're looking ahead into the pit, and the only safe way out of Appalachia is that metal bird Lennox has perched up on the roof. And what keeps her in the air are those ultrasight cells Orlando keeps locked up. So, that's the deal. You bring back medical information that'll help me figure out how to help these folks, and I'll get you all the juice you need.
Okay.
We've narrowed down what we need to vault-tec's agricultural center. So, how about it?
What else can you tell me about the information you're looking for?
It sounds crazy, but just before the bombs fell, the war had taken up so many resources that animal doctors were told to start treating humans. Whatever the hospitals did to train up those folks, I'm betting it's something we could use too. So talk to me. You in?
No way.
All right. Now, come back if you change your mind.
You're not going to repeat the entire dialogue tree, are you?
Good to see you again.
Oh, God, right in my...
case I can't quite get my head around, and if you can spare a trip, I'd sure appreciate you bringing something back for me. We've narrowed down what we need to vault-tec's agricultural center. Can the responders count on you?
Yep, I'm in.
Nice. Well, let's get to it then. Anything you're able to find, go ahead and bring it back to our lead medic. I'll let her know to look for you. Good luck out there.
Okay, search for medical information at vault-tec Agricultural Research Center.
Extremely rewarding, but boy, is it tiring. Robots sure make my job easier.
So it's sending a... I forgot you can fast travel indoors. It's sending us... Oh, someone else is here. Oh, it's a level 9 player. Sending us all the way here. So let's see how this has changed, or if it's just a fetch. It seems like it's just going to be a fetch quest. So it's going to drop something in the end of dungeon steamer trunk. As you can see in this photo, that's what they look like. Or they're sometimes green. There's only 2 colors as far as I'm aware, excluding the storage boxes. And that's probably just going to drop one of those there, and it'll just be a random fetch place each time you do it, because it's a daily. Okay. There was a bear scene over here, but I kind of feel like they removed it because it was rather inappropriate. I'm going to do a quick search. If I can remember where it was. I think it was back there, and they removed it because it was a rather inappropriate. If you knew, I don't think a kid's gonna know what it was. Actually, they might, because children nowadays are rather smart. I never got a photo of it, so it's one of the bear scenes that I don't have any kind of log for. It's only one of these. Oh, gosh. Mr. Farmhand. Yep. I think it was back there behind those. That one that I was at first. They just got rid of it. There's 2 bears doing something together. And it no longer exists because they gotta make everything more friendly. That's fine. You can go to Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 if you want to see bears, stuffed bears doing it, like the doing the act, I mean. Not just doing it. Or probably find old video footage of someone that's posted it. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone from the location. Why is there so many things? All of the farmhands have been added to the map. I gotta burp. It's saying it's right here? Oh, below us, below me. It's right there below me. The farmhands don't normally get added to your thing, I don't think. Oh, that's not what I want out. Please pull. Why? Hello? Why didn't it pull out a weapon? Hello? Hello? I think it just froze and crashed. There we go. It wasn't letting me pull out any weapons. I couldn't even activate my weapon wheel. Also, there's no noise other than right there where I just killed the ghoul. Oh! That ghoul looked a bit different, like he was wearing a thing, so I wanted to get close to look at him, but he despawned. Looks like he was wearing like a fire hat. Yeah, I could have swore I heard a voice. Okay. Veterinary Records Terminal. Did this terminal exist? I don't believe this terminal existed. This is a new terminal. Governor Evans Memo. From the Office of Governor Evans. Attention, Facility Director. Per decree of the West Virginia Board of Medicine, effective 30 days from now, the resident veterinarian, Dr. Lizbeth Cohen, will be excited to report in for cross-training in human medicine. Please pass along our thanks. In addition to this field guide to human medicine, put together in anticipation of any questions or concerns she may have regarding this transition. Thank you for your complete cooperation. Personal logs. Dr. Lizbeth Cohen, log 1. From the desk of Dr. Lizbeth Cohen, DVM. My parents always joke that I became an animal doctor because I can't make sense of people. I laugh and shrug it off. I like people just fine, lying right through my teeth. But my patients, I understand them very well. With every limp, whimper, or pained glance, they tell me everything I need to know. People, on the other hand, never say what they mean. Even if they're sick, especially then. Talking to people feels like taking a test I forgot to study for, like appearing on a game show where I always manage to pick the wrong door. So God forbid the West Virginia Board of Medicine has their way, because if so, then soon many of the sick and wounded of Appalachia will have their limbs amputated by a large animal veterinarian with steady hands and zero tact. The war's getting close to home. They're saying not enough human physicians to go around. They want us to leave our farms and animal hospitals and treat patients who talk and who expect us to talk back. There's no telling if the governor will agree to this so-called strategy. But for now, all I can do is wait and work. Mom and Dad called last night to see how I was holding up. Yes, I told them. I like people just fine. Wait, where is it? Because it's not in here. It's not in the terminal. Where's the field guide? Okay. So I don't know why she's working here. If, because this is more about plants than it is about animals. Because there's a whole lore thing. Oh, that's the guy who poisoned himself. Or it could be a girl. Can't tell. It's a skeleton. Hold on, I want to see if there's a new reception terminal. That's the person the shelf fell on, which is the janitor. Okay, the person left, so I will be taking that cherry. That's there. No reception terminal. I don't think there's any terminals here. That looks weird and out of place. Okay, so they added this little bag here. Hospital Field Guide. Speak to the responder medic in the refuge. Hold on. Can I read this? No. It's just a plan. Okay. Hospital Field Guide. Okay. Well, there is a... Oh, so it's going to spawn it in one of these random bags that are now here on the map. Have you... This skeleton has not always been here. Oh, I get it. They've added multiple. Did they get... They better not have gotten rid of this one. This better still be max terminal. It is. Okay. And the note to Marge is still here. Okay, so they added another veterinary terminal. Error, no connection. Okay. So each day it's probably going to be a different one of those. And this is a new body. That leads to a doctor's bag. And so, is there going to be another one in here? Yes. And some mountain honey. And another dead doctor that didn't exist here before. Because I thought the one in the basement looked new, and apparently it was. So it's added 3 new dead doctors that are vets. Because that's always been here. Let's do a quick search in here. That's always been there. That one's all... Wait, has this one... Well, you know, yeah, that one's always been here. Because there's the 3rd doctor's bag. So it's added 3 new doctor's bags. 3 new terminals. And 3 new skeletons. Yeah. There's not going to be a skeleton in the bathroom. Or, I mean, a terminal in the bathroom. No. There is the other janitor's arm. Or probably not the janitor. It's probably someone who just blew up the toilet and had to do that. Okay. So, I need to take another one of these. Because I'm too lazy to go back and drop off my weapons that are overweighting me. Or whatever I have. I'm assuming it's stuff I need to turn into script. From the last time I played. White Spring, Fast Travel, Refuge. There we go. Just writing down a couple of notes for the tags and for the video. To go to the bathroom. I was like, he's just standing outside by the cars. And his dogs pee on people's cars. No, they're peeing on the bushes next to the cars. Okay. Oh no, I gotta bring it to the medic. The medical medic. Before I do that, the medic has a terminal right there. Let's go ahead and check that out first. So I'm not seeing any notes. I'm not seeing any holotapes. Clinic terminal.
So this is a place that's bringing all these damn people to Appalachia.
Welcome to the White Spring Refuge Clinic Database. Medical records, archives, personal logs. Medical records. That. Patient ID 30-43-62-1. Admitted to clinic complaining of shortness of breath, blurred vision, dizziness, and headache. Patient was recently the subject of a violent attack by raiders, yet we let the raiders come inside here, so concussion and other associated trauma is likely. Cannot rule out hypotension or other illness. Staff attended to the obvious wounds, and the patient is under observation pending further tests. Number 781345-7. Admitted to clinic with multiple sharp force trauma wounds to the torso. All incised wounds, 4 centimeters wide, depths varying from 2 centimeters to 10 centimeters approximately. Smooth edges, consistent with patient's account of being attacked by this knife-wielding maniac all hopped up on psycho. Examination during emergency treatment revealed no injuries to internal organs. Patient is stable. Under observation after sutures, a very fortunately matching blood's transfusion and administration of antibiotics. 1942-799. Admitted to clinic in an extremely weakened state. Examination shows numerous contusions, bleeding gums, photosensitivity, and general emaciation. Patient was unable to communicate coherently, but was brought in by persons identified as traveling companions. Suspected severe malnutrition and food deprivation. Clinic currently lacks the equipment for force feeding and intravenous nutrition solutions are likewise unavailable. Staff has administered vitamin injections, and the patient is being assisted with a liquid diet until more substantial food is possible. Attending clinician note. Clinician, yes. Some weirdo offered to have an assaultron perform dental reconstruction on the patient. The offer was declined in forceful terms. 24-73-020. Admitted to clinic complaining of headache, general fatigue, nausea, abdominal pain, and difficulty breathing, and presenting mild cyanosis of the skin. A diagnosis of cadmium poisoning was additionally supported by the patient's prior residence in a form electroplating factory in the pit. Patient is being treated to minimize discomfort while senior clinic staff attempt to locate adequate materials for chelation therapy. God dang, the rum is impairing my ability to read. And yet here I go, about to have another drink.
Talking to that person from Crater. Nasty bunch, aren't they?
Do you ever get that feeling like you forgot something?
This course, archives.
Sure what it is I forgot.
All archived patient records are to be moved to hard copy within 1 month of discharge. This is 278-9355. Admitted to clinic with an axe in his head. Patient appeared to be unaware of the presence of an axe in his head. And attempts to draw his attention to the axe were met with confusion and disbelief. Attending clinician, why not just say physician, determined safe removal of the axe was possible, and the operation was carried out successfully. Patient was kept under observation for a week following treatment, having developed a thick Scottish accent after the procedure, but was subsequently discharged. Is that? I hope that's a random encounter. Please add new random encounters. Administrator note: an axe in his head is not a professional. Isn't this a Key and Peele thing? I think that's a Key and Peele thing. That's an Easter egg to a Key and Peele thing. I gotta look it up after this. An axe in his head is not a professional medical description. I recognize it may feel silly to put something so specific into formal terminology, and we might just be a volunteer-run operation. We can still be professionals. Speak to me if you need to review appropriate terms. I believe that is a Key and Peele thing, now that I'm thinking about it. He goes to the doctor and he has to wait in line even though he has, I think is it an axe in his head? And they're like, what's your condition? And he's like, axe in head or something like that. I don't know. I really have to just look it up and throw it attached to the video if I can find it. 547-3162. admitted to clinic unconscious and with no visible external trauma, signs of internal injury, or evidence of illness beyond their unconscious state. Patient was brought in by an individual who only gave their name as Bob. I like to call him Bob. And who departed suddenly before more information could be taken. Patient was breathing steadily and heart rate was normal. Intravenous fluids were administered along with vitamin injections. Resources for feeding a comatose patient were unavailable and attempts to manually feed them were unsuccessful. The patient showed no signs of starvation despite this lack of nutrition. During 2 weeks of observation, no change in the patient's state was noticed. Clinic staff reported feeling oddly cold when near the patient. Several accused the patient of somehow being responsible for the sudden failure of a number of pieces of electrical equipment in the vicinity. 2 weeks after admission, the patient's bed was found empty during the night shift. Attendants' rounds. A search of the refuge and its grounds found no sign of the patient, nor could any witness to their departure be located. Administrative note: can we please keep the ghost stories out of the medical records? We're in a big drafty building with a bunch of salvaged equipment. People come and go all the time without any of us noticing. We're supposed to be doctors, damn it. Is that a reference to Fallout 1 and 2 and 3? Because he is in 3. What is his name? Harold. Is that a Harold reference? 178-7279. Admitted to clinic due to entering labor. According to patient, this was early, but not concerningly so. Patient appeared healthy beyond their condition, and the attending clinician was able to assist in the delivery of a healthy baby without any unexpected difficulties. Patient and child were kept under observation and care for 5 days, and were subsequently discharged to general refuge housing. There's no babies. That baby's gonna die once she takes it out of this building. They should have let her stay in the building. But okay. Personal logs. Administrative memo all staff must read. To all clinic staff, first I want to say you're all doing tremendous work under taxing circumstances. I know we never have enough supplies. There's not enough of us, and not all of us were lucky enough to have pre-war medical training. I mean, I have Solomon. Every one of you is here making a genuine difference despite all that. And I want you to know how proud I am. Wait, wasn't Solomon a vet? And he had to join the war effort? Are they just recycling his thing? With that said, folks, the medical records are not a place for editorial comments. Patient presented clear symptoms of being an asshole is not appropriate documentation of an examination, no matter how belligerent they might be. This guy's gonna die is not the professional way to write that particular diagnosis. Gross is not, under any circumstances, a clinical term. Come on, we're trying to set some standards here. One day, it's not going to just be us working these few beds. And doing this right from the start is going to make it a lot easier on all of us when we get more volunteers. Let's act like professionals. One other thing to follow up on that, the personnel logs are for tracking non-patient related information about the clinic, as you have all seen fit to instead use them as combination of a complaints box and gossip channel and background for petty grievances. I have locked all logs until such time as I feel you can be trusted again. If you want to vent, come to me. I can take it. And then a blank page. Attending clinician logs. Error. All logs locked by clinic administration. Dang it, come on. Nursing logs. Oh, really? Come on. What is the point in having these if there's no information in them? Right? Whatever. Let's go see what you have.
Don't bother talking to that person.
You are identical to this woman right here. They couldn't even make another random model? Okay. Because I think that's one of the default characters. gonna talk to me?
Heard
Medic?
you were out there giving us a hand. Were you able to find the hospital field guide?
No, not yet.
Okay. We'll make do with what we have until then. Rucker said to be looking for you. Any luck finding a hospital field guide?
Why do the responders need this information?
Well, Appalachia's never really given the responders any breaks, you know? There's so much we don't know how to treat. Sometimes it's hard to know if we're even treating the right thing. With how many sick and wounded we get coming in here, we need every advantage we can get. And the information you're bringing us provides us that advantage in a big way.
Okay, I have the information Rucker asked for.
This looks like exactly what we needed. A proper field guide gives us a fighting chance to run this place like a real med bay. You've done the responders a great service, and now it's our turn to get to work.
That is Code Blue.
The work I do is extremely rewarding, but boy, is it tiring.
These, quests don't give you anything unique.
Considering all of the places I could have ended up, I'm extremely
A
lucky.
bit disappointing, but
I've never felt safe.
it's fine, I guess. Okay.
Considering all of the places I could have
Okay.
ended up.
So I never talked to Rucker or read her terminal, so I'm coming back to do that.
Been a long time coming. But well, you're not bleeding through your shirt. I call that a good day. Name's Rucker. I head up the responders around here.
Right, responders are back?
Better believe it. And it's my job to make sure we stick around this time.
Need any help at the moment?
Nothing right now, believe that or not. Checking again soon, though. Almost always something that needs doing around here.
I have questions.
Talk to you, mate. Go on ahead.
You brought the responders back by yourself.
Well, it took a minute and a miracle, but yeah. When I first got back to Appalachia, the other responders were all but wiped out. A couple of folks wandering around wearing a uniform, but not a one doing any organizing or, hell, making any real work out of it. So I started reading everything I could find and listening to anything anyone could tell me about the group before they all passed. I realized that while the responders themselves didn't make it, the idea could be brought back. And this time, for good.
That's kind of mean to whatever her name is that has the dog Chloe, and the guy at the airport, and the girl at the fire breathers fire station. Because they're trying, but 3 people are not going to be able to rebuild the responders. Tell me about the refuge.
Nice enough place. Heard it used to be some kind of fancy trading post before the war. Can't say I'm overly fond of this management that Orlando's wrapped up in, but I got work needs doing, and I'm not one to turn down a safe place to do it in. I'm also not in love with all the hammering and drilling they got going on, but I'm not complaining. Well, starting now, I'm not.
Yeah, so I had to look around. I found the hand scanner thing. And the reason why there's all the hammering and stuff is because the robots are trying to make it look like there's work going on over there, because there should be work going on over there because of the lore of the White Springs and it being rebuilt and restructured. But they're also trying to keep these people from going over there to find the hand scanner that leads to the Enclave. So what's your story?
Was an army brat before the bombs fell. My dad was a medic and always wanted to be where the action was. Well, Dad's company took a direct hit.
The work I do is
I think his biggest regret was that he wasn't here in Appalachia when it all went down. I wanted to do right by him, so I figured the next best thing was to make the trek back here myself and do what I thought he would have done.
How did you make it all the way back home from there?
Wasn't easy. Me and a few other stragglers had to pick our way down the East Coast, ducking and dodging everything that moved except each other. Not the kind of experience one wants to talk about much. You understand.
Sure. I have a different question.
Sure thing.
What do you do here?
I keep the responders, well, responding. We've grown enough now that Most of the different departments organize themselves fairly well, but everyone needs a fire lit under them from time to time, and these days, that's where most of my hours go. That, and keeping Orlando from sniffing around.
Okay. What can you tell me about others here in the refuge?
Depends on who you mean.
Tell me about Orlando.
Well, I can't get Orlando to tell me about Orlando. Not that I'm ungrateful for the space they're giving us here, mind you, but I've never met this management they go on about. And I don't trust anyone who can't or won't show their face.
Well, I am part of management. What's Skippy's deal?
Nice enough, feller, considering what's going on back in the pit. Resourceful, too, in a way that's hard to come by these days. I won't pretend I ever got my head all the way around this union he's part of, but he knows who his people are and does everything he can to keep them amongst the living. Yeah, we're cut from common cloth like that.
Okay, about Initiate Ellison.
Lord, that kid. If you're asking me about him, then I take it you haven't had the pleasure of him talking both your ears off at once. True told, I think the Brotherhood gave him a job just to stop him from jawing at him for 5 minutes. I'd begrudge their peace if it didn't come at the cost of our quiet. At least with his yakking, he can't sneak up on you. Orlando, on the other hand.
Yep, I get it. You don't like Orlando.
No worries.
Never mind.
All right, then.
Talk to you later.
Take care of yourself and your fellow Appalachians if you're able.
Can't believe we've got a bird.
They don't do too good on some of the character modelings for outfits.
If you hang around those raiders,
Since all outfits are one thing of clothing, that might be one of the reasons why. They all look like weirdly stretched. So let's read Rucker's terminal. The White Spring, Responders Mainframe, the Census. Responder staff, 24, refugees. Varies, including one long-term resident. Who's the long-term resident? Oh, that's, what's his name? Robots, roughly 10, depending on repair status. Note, not all staff are full-time. The majority of the robotic population are technically part of the White Springs Resort, and as such are under the authority of Orlando. Inventory. Note to self, find time to update this, or maybe make Sophie do it. I'm busy, Rucker. Then what is the point in some of these things? Oh, wait, I didn't read what this was called. Logs. Settling in. Hopefully this damn thing saves what I typed this time around. If not, then I'll see if Skippy wants to add it to his scrap heap. It's been a long few months since we got settled into the refuge, and every day brings just as much challenge as it does progress. But in spite of it all, just the other day, I caught myself starting to feel at home. I hadn't realized before how difficult it was to even remember what home even felt like. Or if I even could. But all the whys and what ifs in the world won't bring the responders back. That's my job. And for once it looks like I may just have what I need to get it done. Orlando. I've always had an eye for sizing up folks in a hurry, but this Orlando character, they're a tough one to figure. Even worse, they seem to like it that way. Can't say I got any real idea who these management folks are, or even if they really exist at all. The responders still aren't in any kind of position to be turning away resources, much less the roof over our damn heads. Oh, man. Yawning and yawning and burping and stuff. Oh. Dad always used to say that the proper way to thank someone was with a grateful heart and a wary mind. Like most else in life, he was right. So thank you, Orlando. Now, what's in it for you? The refuge. Can't imagine what kind of trading post would have needed as much space as the White Spring did. But Skippy says there were places just like it all over the country before the bombs fell. Aren't you from America? Though he says all kinds of crazy stuff. Guessing the robots here were what kept the place in such decent repair. But it begs a bit of a question. Who kept those robots up and running? Maybe they got to repairing each other after a while. But hell, if they're capable of that kind of thinking, then I reckon we'd have a very different set of troubles to contend with. We sure don't need any new ones on top of what we already got. No, you don't. There is an evil robot underneath you. Not time for something. I never did see anyone fight and plan and push ahead the way Dad could. He kept at it right until we'd gotten clear of the last raiding party. And there was this whole look in his eyes, like he knew that bullet in his side wasn't gonna let him off the hook. I told him then I would do everything I could to make sure no one else ever had to see a look like that in their loved one's eyes. But yesterday, I came up short. That kid who crawled up from Charleston with a buckshot and gangrene in his leg, I know I did what all that could be done. Everyone here did. Sometimes it feels like we're fighting on a new front every damn day. Scorched, rads, ghouls, med shortages, busted supplies, not to mention the usual cast of clowns who can't help but shoot at one another. Some days it gets tough to remember why I brought the responders back at all. Today won't be one of those days. Just got word of the new patient coming in. Time to get back to work.
My friends didn't want to join up with me. Said the responders sounded like too much work.
So there you go. There's our insight
Before running off.
on Rucker.
It's a shame. I can't get at the back by myself.
And that's all the updated stuff.